Alright, here's the final part of the air sealing and insulation job of the rim joist of Bill Quinn's house. What you're going to see now is pretty much a walk around of the perimeter just to show you. I, in this case, as a professional, used all the equipment that I had at my disposal and realized that some areas need a little extra foam. So there was still some air leakage happening. There were a couple small gaps here and there. At the end of the day, was it a huge deal? The answer is no. Was it significant enough to go back and fix it? Absolutely. So back to the task at hand here, just showing you guys how everything went down. At this point, you'll see right there that gray stuff on top of the joist is some construction adhesive. It's for subfloors. So what I'm doing is gluing and screwing it back down. That's the way it's supposed to be done. It also makes it a lot easier in the future when you have to rip it back up if necessary. I don't think that's going to be the case here because we've been incredibly thorough, but you never know. Alright, so again, here's what it looks like at the rim joists. We got the first 12-inch section, which was the eye joists themselves, which is, pretty much OSB, and then you've got these two right here, as you can see, one supporting member on top and then another on the bottom. Got these 4 top plates, and then behind them, you'll see we've foamed all the way down. Yeah, so the idea really was to get the entire space foam the heck up. So it all worked out as I had planned, thanks to the kit, to some equipment, and a little bit of experience with it. Okay, so this I showed you was that interesting section where I didn't have much space, but it still worked out, I think, perfectly. And I'm going to show you so you can get a judgment for yourself here. Alright, here we are going down. I mean, really, that is about as good as it gets. And then this is the situation along the entire wall. So I'm just going to quickly now walk you through it. Alright, here we are. We've got a partition wall there. Scanning around, you can see, here's where I start putting the board back down. You can see the cut lines. Again, gluing and screwing is the way to go. Alright, here we are in the master bedroom. Here's that partition wall that separated where we were last time, which is the closet area. And again, you can see we've gone the entire length of the house, the entire perimeter. I will show you in a second a couple areas that were a little tricky, which we're going to return to with a different foam application method. But as you can see, or at least hopefully you agree with me, that this is a very thorough job and one that will definitely bring some benefits to the homeowners and to anybody out there who is considering this type of product. In terms of the cost of it, there's no doubt that it is the highest priced of all the insulation materials, but there's no other way I would have done this job. I use all the materials that are out there, and none of them would have got the job done like this. And the time it's taken 2 days to rip up these floors and foam everything. There are other methods that could have taken a week, if not longer. So you judge for yourself which way you want to go. Alright, again, another partition wall. We're going to go into the final section here on the second floor. Okay, as you can see, it continues. Just a really nice, consistent insulation and air sealing job. This insulation that you see down there, the fiberglass bat, it's for sound quality, not itself an actual insulator, given the fact of where our thermal boundary is. That's why we've sprayed the rim joist. All you had before was this fiberglass bat insulation going right up to that point, and then the rim joists, which are directly exposed to the outside minus some sheathing and siding, were the point where you really wanted to hit, and they hadn't. So this was the reason why we went to this, some would say, extreme effort to get this job done. And once you've exposed these sections by ripping up the floor, I mean, there's only one way to do it, and that's to do it right. Take your time, apply at least enough foam, if not a little extra, which we did here. And now I'm going to show you the section that we're going to have to revisit. So here we are, we're still fine, you can see. But then here we go, here's our situation. Here we are, we've got our wall, okay, here's our floor, and then here's the floor joist. Well, in this case, we've got one eye joist, which is at the, the actual perimeter of the house, is set a little bit back from the eye joist, which is really the last point we could cut at. As you can see, we couldn't have gone any farther. Even if you would have taken off the trim, it wouldn't have helped. So what we're going to do is, and let me just tell you something, you don't want to put holes in eye joist. This situation is a little bit different because it was a hole to figure out what we were looking at, and they're pretty much doubled up, the eye joist at this point. So what we're going to be doing is putting in minuscule size holes, putting in essentially like a feeding tube, and using a slow expansion foam to fill up this. This runs the entire side of this wall. It's a partition wall, but it'll continue to run. You'll see here where this closet is. Behind that closet, we got to actually remove the washer and dryer for that section, but that's the point. It really is worth it if you know what you're doing, and if you've ever considered such a project, or if you haven't, this is really the time you should. The materials that are out there these days and the means by which to apply them have just gone forth by leaps and bounds. So this is the job. Again, it was quite a successful job, thanks a lot to the spray foam kits by Foam & Green. Guardian Energy Technologies, I guess, is the right name. So thanks a lot for taking the time to view this and maybe some of the other footage. And if you ever do decide to go forth and do this, by all means, I wish you the best of luck.